Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available. A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
What's going on YouTube? 𝒂𝒕 here, and welcome back to Greenland. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little transition there between what happened in between episodes. But just to give you a quick recap, this interchange that we used to have over here sadly got blown up by a meteor. Now we did build something a little bit different over here, a little bit more simple, more space friendly, if you will. But coming over here, we took a good chunk of land out here and built this monstrosity, I guess you could say. And it's grown on me. It really has. I like this little Trumpet interchange type of deal right here, and a funky little connection up this way that splits into two ways. And then we have yet another interchange connection over here on this side. Now all of them are being utilized. We have no traffic problems as of yet. We'll see how that changes when we build down this way. But that's it. So that's kind of what I've done in between episodes, and a little bit over here. So over here, in order to unlock both of these tiles, this one and this one right here, I had to get us to 19,000 in population, so I had to build a little bit more residential down here, and then it got carried away a little, and I built a little bit of fishing industry right here as well. And I think that's gonna be it. That's gonna complete all of it, except for this little road right here. So if you guys remember, it was pretty straight going out this way. It's got a little bit of a curve, and now I think that's it. So welcome back. I've been gone for a little bit. Took a little necessary break. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been hard finding the motivation to sit down. I've had the time. It's the motivation that's kind of been the thing these last month and a half or so. But let's see. I found some motivation tonight. Let's see if that motivation will continue. So we are sitting at 2.9 million in the bank, a huge jump from the previous episode where we only had about 600,000. That comes from zoning and waiting to get up to 19,000. So we have that. We have a little bit of demand for residential, some demand for industry, and barely any demand for commercial. Now the plan for this episode is going to be simple. I'd like to fill in everything down this way, and perhaps even a little bit over here. And that's it. That's really it. I want to complete this chunk right here before we move down this way. When it comes to milestones and a new tile, we only get that at 36,000 in population. So we've got our work cut out for us. And let's see. So I guess the idea that I have over here is going to be to have a pretty decent concrete jungle kind of around these two interchanges. So over here and this bridge right here, and then some residential over here, and then a full-on regular, maybe some high density residential over here, kind of partake in that concrete jungle. But then over here we'll do some regular lower density homes, maybe do something special over here, and then somehow connect into this road right here, and just kind of complete out that whole area to make it simple. So I'm gonna clear out the trees here. All right, and look at that, we've hit 3 million in the bank. So over here, let's a little bit of more tree removal right about here. So as I mentioned, I'd like this to be very, very dense in concrete. So I'm thinking a little bit of commercial right here, maybe another block down this way. Try for some high density residential closer to the highway down and this way. And as far as the high density goes, I think we'll continue on with the Brooklyn Queens style buildings. Okay, so before we get into zoning too much, we've got water taken care of. I think we should take a look and see if we need any city services over here. So starting out with police, we do need something, and I think that's a good idea, especially since we have a bunch of schools in the area. So good to have some police coverage there. So we'll plop a police station there. Fire department wise is also a little bit light, so we'll plop one of those. Actually, yeah, it's fine. I was gonna use this firehouse over here, and actually, you know what, now that I think about it, it's gonna fit a little bit better once we put in the district style of the Brooklyn and the Queens. So let me do that before I forget. So Sheffield Hills is the name of the new district. So we've got police, we've got fire, and how about some medical up here? So we do need it, and I'm gonna go with this corner right here for a small clinic, and that's gonna cover this area and whatever we end up building out here as well, hopefully. Now there is one more thing that I forgot to mention, and that is going to be death care. While I was doing all this, had a little bit of a death wave, so it's kind of still there. I built a couple of the crematoriums. So we've got one over here, we've got one here, and that's it. So with that said, why don't we put one? We'll put one over here next to the clinic. And before we start zoning residential, let's put down some parking, because this is going to be high density. And this is going to be all completely random, so we'll put one there. We'll put two right about there, one on this side, and two right about there. Now we've got a little bit of commercial down. I'm going to reserve this first panel or quarter panel right in there for some commercial, and then we'll move into high density residential. All right, so a little bit like that should do. I want to have some of these buildings come in before we zone everything. That way they don't all zone the same if you know what I mean. So I think we did a little bit of that over here as well, and we've got a pretty nice variety of buildings, and they're nicely spaced out. So that's kind of what I'm gonna go for on this side as well. And then a pathway here and there surely never hurts. So we'll separate there and there. And it might get a little loud here, who knows, with commercial and the residential being so close together. But I guess we'll tackle that when we get to it. Now that kind of stuff is pretty boring to do. So I turned it into a time lapse, and while all of these buildings come in, I'd like to start working on a connection out this way. What I think would be kind of cool is if we had some building backing up to this this bridge right here. And to do that, yeah, this will be just fine. So we'll run a road right to there. That's not gonna connect very nicely. So why don't we curve it? And that will be the end of that road. And look at this, we've got a perfect way to connect, almost perfect. Right there. I'm all right with that. A little bit of a bend, and oh, well, that worked out just great. So we'll do that. Now I'm thinking over here on this side, we'll do some commercial backing up to the Katy Green Bridge right here. We'll do a little bit of commercial on the insides over here as well. And then over here, I think the residential demand is gonna increase as soon as everything's zoned. So we'll add a little bit more right here just by extending the district. And we'll kind of mix it in a little bit. So we'll go kind of like so. Put a big one over here. And then a big one right about there. All right, I'm not necessarily proud of that connection right there, but we're gonna leave it and see, or not see anything. We're gonna live with it. We'll need a little bit of water right about there, and that's a good way to connect. And then we've also got this pocket here as well to fill. We've got a little bit of demand for jobs, for industry / offices. Here goes another district. All right, so here in Smith Heights, I'm thinking that we should put in a little bit of the European buildings. Now this is gonna kind of be like a very old, well-established district. And let's take advantage of this 45 angle here, just like so. And then maybe another one right about there. So as I mentioned, this is going to be offices over here, and I'm hoping that it turns out looking all right. Perfect. All right, very good. Let's get that zoned. And the European offices, they look just like regular high density residential as well. Slight differences here and there. We'll see when they come in, but primarily they look like very old buildings that have been around for a very long time on the European side. All right, so I put in a little bit of fence right there to give us that better sense of realism, I guess, because the highway here wouldn't be just open. Now over here, I'd like to get some additional commercial backing up to the fence on the highway, and I think that if we go, yeah, that'll work right there. We'll come to about right there, and then maybe a park over here or something like so. And there we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill all of this in because I'm kind of curious to see what it's gonna end up looking like. And that district right there, a little bit of additional residential. And let's see if there's maybe a unique building that we can put right about right here. And I'm thinking something old. So that's a little too big. That's too big. That's too big. Well, maybe my plan to put in something old here isn't necessarily going to work out. Man, these are all super huge. This is the Brandenburg Gate. Isn't really something that would fit there. Ooh, a cinema. Perfect. We're gonna put in a cinema right here. Yeah, that fits all right. We've got a city hall as well. And you know what? I'm thinking that could be a really nice centerpiece right about there, but maybe facing out like so. And then adding a little bit of parking on each side, so we've got somewhere to park when we come in and visit here. So cool, very good. I like that. Now, while all of this is developing, over here I said we would do some residential. I'm thinking if we should expand the high density, or if we should create a freeform neighborhood. I know a freeform neighborhood over here was the plan. Let's do this. Let's make it fair between the two dots. We'll expand to about here, and then the rest over here is going to be a freeform neighborhood. But then here, now that is very gritty, but in my opinion, that's just something that we would find in more of a apartment-like area, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Now, the goal is and was to build more of a kind of like a concrete jungle over here. So commercial alongside over here will work out just fine. Maybe over here a little bit more parking if we could squeeze it, and there we go. And that'll be all right. A little bit less separation over here on this side. I am still gonna put in a pathway or two just to kind of make it look legit, if you will. So it's not fully building next to building. But I feel like this should work. Let's not forget to zone alongside the highway over here. And I think that'll be all right. I'm gonna give this a few minutes just to see how everything fills in. Okay, so it's coming in fairly nicely. Not at the rate of speed that I thought it would, but it's coming in nicely nonetheless. A little bit of decor, some foliage and whatnot, just in the slightest of places, and I think this area will be complete. Now coming back over here, let's put in a very simple freeform residential neighborhood, kind of like so. We don't want to get too close to the highway or the exit ramp right in there, but I feel like something like that should work, and maybe another leg or another branch right about there, and then maybe one kind of like so right here too. Now obviously there is going to be some foliage around this area. There we go, kind of like so. And then when it comes to the way we're going to zone this, or the type of zoning, I'm going to leave everything to be just the regular type of low density residential that is the standard type. We're not going to apply any kind of a district over here. Now I do know that we should add some water as well. All right, so there we go. Nothing fancy, just a little bit of residential. Now this one over here is gonna be a little bit bigger, but there's a thought I had. So you guys remember, mysteriously there was a meteor or two that came through and blew up this interchange that we had over here. There were some damaged buildings and roads that only a natural disaster response unit could fix, and we don't have one of those. And I'm thinking that we should put one maybe somewhere tucked in alongside over here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll complete this chunk right here first, and then we'll come in and grab some residential layout over here on this side. Now let me okay, so this will work. We're gonna extend this 4-lane out this way, and we're gonna hook up right that was weird. Are we gonna be able? Yeah, perfect. All right, so second time the charm there. We've got this 4-lane road here as well. I like this eyedropper tool when I get it right. Let's see. That'll be fine. Right there. We'll turn off the lights. This gives us an additional connection from this whole area onto this road. And looks, there's some folks using it already, but access to this side or this part of the highway as well. Now over here, if we can grab a one-way road with trees, and that will do. So something like that. And then we have two types of natural disaster response units. And we've got the disaster response unit, which is the basic one, I believe, and then we've got the disaster response airbase that is bigger. And I think this is the one that we're gonna go with. And that actually fits very nicely there. I wonder. Well, this one's just about the same size too. Oh, it's actually exactly the same size. Yeah, I think we'll stick with the bigger, not bigger, the more expensive, the airbase is what we're going to stick with. Now, we can't just leave it like that by itself. We've got to add a couple more things. And I was looking at the deep space radar, and then we've got the weather radar as well. It's actually fairly small. And I'm thinking if we are able to, which I think we are, we'll extend a road. Let's try to find, there it is, right in there. If we come out, so that's a little too close for it. How about that? Perfect. So we'll add a couple of things over here on this side, starting with the deep space radar. That is found right over here. Ooh, that's big. But I think I'll be all right with it right there. Where is the sun? Right up there. All right. So that'll stay right there. And then this one is really small. Ooh, look at this. Should we? It doesn't fit very well in there. But you know what would? There are some of these super small flower beds that we have somewhere. These ones right here. Railroads of Japan, small station front plazas. So we can put, perfect. Those will working great right there. And then for the weather radar, if we run a road back here, and I think somewhere right there should be fine for that. A little bit of trees back here, and it'll blend in just perfectly. All right, I like that. I like how it's how this build is coming along so far. I'm gonna resume the game. No idea why we were paused there. Now let's come. We'll do one more thing over here on this side. Could we? We can't. That's all right. We'll come to about right there, and let's see what else we have that is related. So I don't want to put any emergency shelters down this way, because then we gotta, in order for these to work, we've got to put in bus routes, and I'm not ready to take on that commitment just yet. So we've got that and that. What else kind of sort of fits over here? All right, so I was looking for this one, the disaster memorial, but we don't have that unlocked because I'm playing on remastered. I have it unlocked on the first game, but I don't have it unlocked here, which is a shame. I was gonna put it like somewhere over here in the center, and then put a road around this, so it could kind of sort of be a centerpiece for the entrance here. But that's fine. We can do without. There is, or there was, I think this right here, climate research station, that we could potentially put next to the deep space radar. So that could work. Kind of sort of fits in the area. And there was one more. All right, so maybe that was it. Now I feel like we should make this like a very, very high security area. In order to do that, we've got these 𝒖𝗔𝒊𝒏𝒈 police boxes that we could play with, and that is branch office, station market. No, that's not it. It's much smaller. It's like a 1 unit type of deal. Alright, so I don't know why I'm having a hard time finding it. Maybe I'm thinking of a... There it is. 𝒖𝗔𝒊𝒏𝒈 police box. So 1 unit right there. I'm going to put 1 on each side, like so. And then maybe for additional decor, let's see if we can put in one of these. Will not fit, but one will fit on this side, which is fine. And then we can put perfect. All right, well that really spruced up the area. And then we could add a couple more of the parking lots here. There we go, something like that. Another thing that could fit in here. I know it's getting a little busy, but we'll try to make it work. And I'm on a terrible struggle bus trying to find some of these buildings. What I'm looking for is the park maintenance depot, which I thought was somewhere in here. There it is, park maintenance. We'll put that right there, and then road maintenance. How about one of those, kind of, sorta, right about there. Speaking of roads, it's going to budget. Yeah, we haven't increased our road budget to 100% yet, so we're gonna do that. That's something that I've wanted to do for quite a while and never got around to it. But there we go. Now we have that, and now we're lacking water. Okay, so that took a while to figure out, but I'm pretty content with it. Now, to give it a little bit more privacy, we're gonna add some foliage all around. It's gonna be nice and dense, and we'll even mix in some of these boreal pines, kind of like so. There we go. Let's take a look at that. So we've got a little bit of visibility from right about here, which we can fix. Okay, so that's pretty private to me, and it looks kind of nice over here in corner. Yes, it's big and you can't really hide it, but it's private. So kind of what we were going for, privacy in the area, high security. I guess the only other thing that we could do is add some fences, but I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Now coming over here, I added these tourist parks as a temporary leisure fulfillment on this side. So you can see now there's not much. I'm gonna add a couple of parks, and I think we might even be lacking a little bit on elementary school, because we only have the one, and we've added a good amount of population here. So we'll add another one of these larger schools here. All right, so let's come in here. Large elementary school. Yeah, that's the one. We'll add it right there. Then we'll add a big old park of some sort right behind it. And I think I told you guys I'm very thankful for the additional assets that we got in the game. If I could find them. I don't know why I'm having such issues today. So we'll add a soccer field right there. Could we put a baseball diamond here too? We can. A little bit of an overkill for elementary school, but hey, that's all right. Now we're gonna space out 2 blocks there for some parking, and let's connect right in here, and then we'll add a little bit of commercial to this block right here. I don't know if you guys look on maps, especially here in the US. Every so often there's a commercial block that's built. So for example, one right here, then potentially like there would be a small block, maybe not that big, but say about here, just a little bit of convenient grocery shopping, so something like that. Then we'll have the neighborhood back here. Then we've got another one over here, another big old chunk right here to kind of serve all the high density and lower density. And I think you guys know what I mean. So that's the commercial side of things right there. Then let's add a little bit of parking and try to finish up this area and this episode. All right, very good. We do have that death wave. Looks like still going on. So I'm gonna add a crematorium on this side as well. Kind of secluded, maybe right about there. Okay, and then I'm thinking, since we've been having some of these deaths, yeah, this one is almost full. So let's set it to empty. And yeah, all right, I'm good with this. It's growing on me. So then let's come over here and we'll zone our commercial space right there. Now let's add a little bit of parking too. I guess we could take up this front chunk right here. And then again, I mentioned this was going to be another free-form neighborhood. So we'll go like so. All right, and then on this side we are going to add a district. Just don't know exactly what type of zoned homes we should have over here. So let's take a look together. So we've got default and European are pretty much the same. We've got European suburbia, which I think would fit nicely back here. University City is a bunch of rundown regular residential single family homes. Modern city center, mid-century modern could also work back here. Shopping malls, Africa, that's commercial only. Let's go with European suburbia. So that's going to be Strawberry Square there, European suburbia. And strangely enough, even after we zoned all of this high density residential over here, we still have a very good demand for residential. So let's satisfy that. All right, so that will do. And we still need to add some city services. So let's add a police station right there. A fire. I think a large firehouse might be beneficial here. Of course, that's not going to fit. Let's get rid of police. We'll put a large firehouse there. That'll actually serve the whole area there, but then some down that way, which is definitely good. Police-wise, yeah, so no good coverage. I'm thinking if we add one there, will that cover? Yeah, that'll cover this whole side right here. We're kind of killing two birds with one stone. And then a healthcare. Pretty much non-existent out here. So let's add... nah, it's going to be way too big. We'll add a couple of clinics. So we'll add one right there, and then we're gonna add something there, but we'll add a clinic. So that's good enough for now. A little bit more foliage over here, and then one thing that I catch myself forgetting to add is leisure/parks. They've given us some of these very small parks that we can place right in the middle of neighborhoods. Here we go. These tiny parks. So tiny playground. We'll scatter them here and there. And I'll put the game on 3-speed just to kind of see how much coverage we are getting. Let's go with a tiny park right about there. But I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Sidewalk cafe, why not one right about in there? I think leisure-wise we should be covered there. Can add one right about in there, and that's good. Nicely covered. And I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I told myself I'm not gonna make super long episodes because they take a very long time to edit, and then that also messes with the motivations. I have no idea how long this one's gonna be. Hopefully not too long, but whenever I'm done with one of these, I dread editing the episode, but at the same time I don't feel like leaving leaving everything in either, because then it's going to be like an hour and a half. And then who wants to sit through, or who's got the time to sit through an hour and a half worth of an episode? So I'll get to editing this. Before that, let's take a quick little recap of what we did. Let's start with this side right here. So we've got our historic office district with a historic building right here, which looks like getting a lot of play. Now this area right here does need some beautification, so we'll do that maybe next episode. We've got our high density residential addition right here, a very small residential neighborhood. The up and coming European neighborhood, we finally got a not finally, we haven't been waiting for it, but now we have a natural disaster response unit, an additional school, couple of parks, couple of city services, and park maintenance depot. I don't think we had one of those yet. So that's that. I'm gonna leave you guys with it. Let me know what you think about the Trumpet interchange over here. This took me a long time, and I finally settled on this right here. And then in the next episodes to come, we'll start expanding out this way, kind of make our way down to the beach, and then we do still have to add some oil industry over here. With that said, be the best that you can be in everything that you do, and I will see you guys on the next one.